Taking a look at sports. Well, this is going to be a relatively short look at sports, I've got a feeling. I did not stay up for the Giants game last night. No, 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 no. I did not at all. I expected them to lose. The defense has been giving up 20-some points a game. You should be able to win a football game if you give up that. But you can't win a football game if you give up that and your starting quarterback is not playing. Your starting running back is not playing. One of your starting receivers is not playing. So it was a fairly long weekend if you were a fan of the Giants, but an interesting weekend if you were a fan of the Jets. Let's bring in Mike Cozzi. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
So the first thing I see when I get up this morning is that a big story on the Jet fans are so upset that they won that game that they wanted the lottery pick number one. And
they should be upset.
Well, I don't think so. I think if you're a real fan, you want your team to win, and if you get...
No, you don't. You want your team to get better. You stink this year. Does it matter if you win 1 or 2 games or none? Doesn't matter. The best way the Jets could have got better is to get the quarterback from Clemson, and that's not happening now.
Well, they're still tied.
No, they're not.
For the worst record, yeah. They got
Jacksonville, by strength of schedule, has the pick.
Has the pick. All right. Well, then. The Jets have lost out there, and of course the Giants only scored 6 points because, once again, no quarterback, no running back, and...
What's with their coach? Is he on drugs?
Why?
How can you go inside the 10-yard line twice and come away with no points?
Because you don't have your starting quarterback. You got a guy that hasn't...
What's that got to do with your field goal kicker? If you kick 2 field goals, you're within a touchdown of tying the game.
Well, yeah,
by getting nothing, you have no shot.
You've got a quarterback that hasn't, a backup quarterback
that hasn't. You didn't answer my question. What does that have to do with the field goal kicker?
Well, Mike, let me answer.
Especially since you don't have a quarterback, you need to take points when you can.
Let me answer it. How many touchdowns has this Cody guy thrown since he's been playing? How many touchdowns have they
I don't know. I
scored?
don't watch the Giants.
Okay.
However, with football, when you're down your quarterback and you have a chance to score points, you have to take points.
No, they don't. This guy, his backup in 3 games now, has not engineered 1 touchdown drive.
Doesn't matter. When you have a chance to take points, you take points. Even more so if your starting quarterback's not playing, because you don't know if you're going to be in that position again. You have to take points when you can.
Like I said, I don't disagree with the decision. You're not going to the playoffs, so you try to get the touchdown. But anyway, so the Browns, it looks like they're going to be.
What you're saying is wrong.
I don't think
because you're not going to the playoffs, it doesn't matter. Well, it matters to the Browns because the Browns are trying to win a division championship.
Yeah.
So if you lay down for the Browns, it just throws away the integrity of the league.
Okay,
so it does matter.
Yeah,
you have to play to win. If you don't want to play to win, then just mail it in.
They were playing to
win.
See, I can turn it around. They were playing to win. They wanted a touchdown.
They weren't playing to win. They didn't take points. It was 20-3. You got to get points.
Yeah. Now, okay. Well, we're just going to move on because I don't agree with you on that. I really don't. I really, really don't.
Well, that's your prerogative. Yeah. You're wrong.
All right. I've been wrong plenty of times in my life. All right. A great game, and I didn't expect it to be a great game, and that was the Kansas City win over the Saints. I mean, Drew Brees had cracked ribs, 11 cracked ribs 3 weeks later. He almost engineers a win over Mahomes.
In my opinion, if the Saints have to win a Super Bowl, they should have beat Mahomes in Kansas City.
Yeah.
If they can't beat him in Kansas City, they're not going to beat him wherever the Super Bowl is.
Yeah, no, but still.
So it's not. It's a pretty bad game for the Saints. They should have won that game.
It was a fun game to watch, though. Patriots aren't going to be in the playoffs for the first time since when?
Don't know.
2008.
Well, at least they've made the playoffs since 2008.
Yeah. So, and Tom Brady, once again, had a pretty good afternoon, almost 400 yards passing.
Beautiful afternoon.
Yeah. All right. And college football, I'm sorry, the playoff system this year, Notre Dame is ranked number 4. How can they be ranked number 4 after the real Notre Dame and real Clemson teams played this past weekend?
Because they're everybody's darling, that's why.
I mean, it wasn't...
There's favorites in everything, and Notre Dame is a favorite. And they're using the excuse that they beat Clemson. Well, they beat Clemson without their best defensive player and without the best player in football. This week, they were both there. How'd that work out for Notre Dame this week?
That's exactly
They got
right.
embarrassed. They got destroyed. That's what happened to Notre Dame this week. And to think that Notre Dame's going to be in the playoffs to play the number 1 team, Alabama. So if you think it was bad against Clemson Saturday, wait till they play Alabama. But don't be surprised if Notre Dame pulls out, because the coach knows they're going to get a thumping, and he's already got the excuse built in that if the parents of my players can't attend the game, we're not going to play. So they got their escape clause already set up.
It's like when I saw that this morning, I just shook my head. And I kind of like Notre Dame, but this is just crazy. I mean, they showed that they didn't belong on the same field with a full-strength Clemson team.
Notre Dame was the victim of a soft schedule. The ACC is pretty weak this year. There's one team in the ACC that's any good, and it's Clemson. It's not Notre Dame. Like I said, Notre Dame played Clemson without the quarterback and without their best defensive player. I might be the defensive player of the year in college football. Those are 2 pretty big losses. So to hang your hat on that, it's pretty empty.
Yep.
But I hope they play, because I think Alabama could beat them by 50.
Yeah,
and that would be nice to see Notre Dame get beat by 50 on national TV.
All right. Anything you want to head on to in sports? How'd your racing work out this weekend?
We had the winner in the Mr. Prospector. Sleepy Eyes Todd won real nicely and paid, I think it was like $12. Didn't catch the exacta, but we caught the winner there. And what the heck was the other thing? Maxfield, my pick for the Derby last year, who got hurt after winning the win in Kentucky, I think it was in June, made a comeback in a stake race in the last race in the card on Saturday and won convincingly at the fairgrounds. So he's back, and I hope he's able to run the whole year, because, in my opinion, he's the best horse in training.
All right, and there is a Monday night football game tonight. Pittsburgh
we
versus
picked it already.
That's
We both
right.
have Pittsburgh.
We both got Pittsburgh. We didn't do too well this weekend, did we?
2-1.
2-1.
We lost with the Jets.
Yeah, we lost. I figured you can't win with them, and you can't win without them.
How'd you like to be somebody in a suicide pool that was near the end of the year, and they saved this Jet-Ram game for the end of the year?
I think they're pretty depressed right now. Unbelievable.
They might be walking on a bridge.
Yeah. All right. Anything else in sports?
Not that I could think of right now.
All right. We'll check with you mañana.
Oh, hockey's got 50 games, 56 games.
56 games. Okay.
That's a legit schedule.
Yeah, that is. All right, so that's down, 20 games?
26.
Yeah. That's a representative schedule the way they play. That's a representative
From when they're
schedule.
starting, 56 games is plenty. They're not starting to January.
Yeah. So no, I think that's a realistic schedule, unlike the 60-game baseball schedule, which was a farce this year.
Well, I still think the 60 games still have proved that the teams that belong in the playoffs were there.
Oh yeah, you're right. It did prove that. But still,
there's a big disparity in baseball. There's teams that are good, and there's teams that should be playing out in Nome, Alaska. There's a lot more teams that should be playing in Alaska.
All right. I'll check with you mañana.
You got it. Have a good day.
Yep. Mike Cozzi with a check on sports this morning here on Robin Hood Radio.